Sometimes on a Friday night I just look for trouble. I look for silly things to do. And well, this is a silly one to do. It's an old TV. I've done a couple of these in the last month or so though. And they're still perfectly functionable TVs if someone needs a cheap TV. And this would be a cheap TV. This is an Alba. An Alba, which is a name you don't really hear of in the UK market anymore. Not a genuine Alba, and this is not a genuine Alba. Of course, it's a Vestel copy. For those people that watch this in the States and further afield, Vestel is very similar to Vizio, whereas Vestel don't use the original Vestel, their name anymore. They decided to buy up old trade names from companies that are defunct in the UK, but were once successful. Names like Bush and Alba and Toshiba and Hitachi. And they're allowed to use those names. So people go to the supermarkets in the UK, they'll see a Toshiba, they'll see a Panasonic, they'll see a Hitachi, and they'll go, oh, that brand, good brand, yeah, we used to have one of those, we'll buy it. And then a couple of years later, if not sooner, wish they hadn't. But this is not an LED TV, this is a LCD TV. Which means absolutely no difference on the screen, it's just the way that it's backlit. There are cold cathode fluorescent tubes in the back of this, not LEDs. And I remember these being the first TV, and these were expensive TVs when they came out. They were the first TV that you could buy in the UK that just went under £1,000 when they came out. LCD TVs in the UK were raved about for quite some time. We just had plasma, but plasma was having its issues, and plasma had been around for about 5 or 6 years. And now people were starting to rave about LCD, not really knowing what they were raving about, and the fluorescent tubes in the back, long before LED had even been thought of. And they managed to get the price down because plasma TVs were very expensive. Plasma TVs, you know, were between 1,500 and 2.5 grand for a good one when they first came out. LCDs were about 1,500 when they first came out. But this sort, the 42-inch, it looks a lot bigger than a 42, doesn't it? That's because of the great big bezel. Look at the size of the bezel there, down all the way down to there. And of course, quite big on the top and big on the sides too. But now these are worth tuppence. Or maybe 40 quid. So let's switch it on and see what happens. Well, I don't know if you've noticed, but I get a white light. And these always had touch sensitive buttons, or did they? Or did they? They used to be here. No. Okay, and these must be ones down the side. Yeah, down the side. So let's switch it on. And it says it's coming on. But it looks like it's gone back to standby, doesn't it? Let's do that one more time. Give it one more click. And it's not coming on. Good picture quality on these when they're up and running. There's nothing wrong with them. I wouldn't imagine the gaming market would be very excited by them with a refresh rate on these. But, you know, just for a HD television, picture quality can be very good. I know a lot of engineers who like the top of the range stuff, but they've still got these in their living room. So it says something. So normally it's a power supply issue on these, which is fixable. If it's a main board issue, I ain't going to bother, because the main board would be 20, 30 quid, I would think, on Fleabay, and it ain't worth spending that. The reason I'm buying this the reason I'm repairing this TV is this TV was given to me, and somebody is selling a 40-inch LG TV, which has got the blue tint to it, and they've said if I can get them a working 40-inch TV, doesn't matter how old, they will do a straight swap. So this will get me a 43-inch LG 4K TV, a faulty one, of which I will stick some new backlights in, because I have got loads and loads of LG backlights. I've overstocked and over-ordered, thinking the blue tint on the LGs was going to be the biggest fault ever. I mean, it was a big fault, but maybe not as big as I anticipated, so I ordered loads. And I've still got loads. Anyway, that's the backstory on this. I won't bore you. I'll turn it over. We'll take the back off, and we'll see if we've got 2 or 3 blown caps, and we'll stick some caps in and see if the screen comes to life. And just in case anybody wants a model number, it's that one there, LC42. I can't read the rest of my screen, sorry. Something, is it 230F and 1080p? And here in the brackets, I think it says 0907, which is 2009. This TV is that old. 14 years old. Incredible. Usually what fails in these is the 2700 microfarad 16 volts cap, which is on the 5 volt rail, and there's usually a couple of 680s and 1000 caps that are the first to go. But sometimes I've taken the back off these and seen that all the caps are absolutely lovely. Ooh, can anybody still see a screw? Because it's not coming off. Have I missed any screws down the side? No, maybe I've got to be a bit more manly. Oh, that's what it takes. Man strength. Oh, no, there is still a screw. Just one here. Look. You didn't tell me about that one, did you? Right. Okay. Just take out the mains lead. I'm not trying to show off or anything, but exactly as I said, that's the 5 volt cap, with a 5 volt rail, so it's a 16 volt cap. That one looks like it's pretty bad. The rest look okay. Yeah, so that one, and I think that's going to be a 1000. But we'll take the board out, and we'll have a closer look and just see. So, a couple of caps. And maybe we'll get to see a picture. But I have done some of these before where the caps have been perfect, and it's been a faulty main board. And the main boards can still be quite expensive, basically because the main board's quite rare on these. I don't know what panel we've got in. I can't see. Can't see a label on a panel. It'll be under the board. I imagine it to be either an LG or a Samsung panel. Let's have a look. Does it say LG? Yeah, it's an LG. It says on the main board. Is it all the screws, or is there one in the middle? There's one in the middle, man. Had well, we all have, haven't we? We've all had issues with couriers, but a very important part was being delivered for a plasma TV this week. The last one I found on eBay. I mean, I'm sure I will find one again soon. And it was sent by FedEx. Now, in fairness to the FedEx driver, actually no, not in fairness to the FedEx driver, but anyway, This lane has been closed a few times over the last couple of weeks because they're putting new cables down, and it was closed on the day that he was supposed to deliver it. So a simple message that can't do today would be tomorrow will be fine. But what did he do? I got a ping on my phone to say package delivered. I hunted high and low, as Aha once said, couldn't see it. I live at a number 11, so I went to an 11 that's on the other side of the street, a bit further up, because we've got a higher and a lower. I live on the lower, so I went to the higher number 11 to see if it got put there, and it wasn't there. And it just turns out, because I said, well, let's see the signature then, and it's been signed in my my old partner's name, which was the name which was on the package. So it doesn't get addressed to Alan, me, it gets addressed to Donna, my old partner. And he must have thought, oh, I'll scribble it. This has got to be the delivery driver that's just scribbled Donna on his electronic pad and then said it's been delivered, and of course it hasn't. So that proves to me the fact that the name Donna has been used, because if any of the neighbours would have took it in, they'd have had to put their name or my name. They wouldn't have known, they don't know Donna. Very naughty, and I'm sure you've had similar things before. But what can you do? I'm just going to test, because I did power the TV up, that the main filter cap here is still not hogging a few hundred volts, enough to kill me. I'd like to stay alive for another day if possible. Just hang on. What have we got? 2 volts. I'll survive that. So we're going to be taking that one out, and that is a 16 volt 27. And this one, I think, is going to be, this one's going to be very dusty. I think it's going to be, I haven't got the glasses on, but I think it's going to be 1000. Anyway, let's get some soldering. Let's get these out first. The one thing I can entertainingly tell is that these caps have never been changed. So I don't know when this TV went faulty. It could have been a year or two ago. But the fact that it's lasted that long, or this long, without new caps. Anyway, so that should say 2716, and it does. Done so many of these over the years. Hopefully you can see. Maybe you can, maybe you can't, don't know. I haven't got any 27. I'll have a quick look. I don't think I've got any 27s. I may have to upgrade to 3 3s, which is a big jump, but sometimes it has to be done. And the other one is just here. It's there. And I'm not sure what the rating is on this yet. We'll take it out. It's either going to be an 870, a 680. I'm going to say it's 1000, 1025. So 1000 microfarads, 25 volts is my guess. And the survey said 1000 at 16 volts. So I was close-ish. Hopefully you can see that. So, let me just have a look. I've got a little yellow box of old things in here. Everybody should have a yellow box of old things. But I have got some caps in here, and I'm just wondering if I've got any 27s. I've got, wow, 450s at 22. That could be a 2. Oh, look at this. Oh, mama, I've found a brand new 2700. So we'll have that. Got any thousands while I'm here then? Yeah. 1035 volts. I'll just check if I've got any 1016s. That's 1035. Lots of 1035, so we'll use those. Yeah, okay. Just going to wick off. Are you really? Oh yes. You watch me wick off. And the same here. Now, am I 100% that this will bring the TV back on? No, you never are. Never will be. It usually does, 90% of the time. But the problems with bad capacitors is it does cause an AC ripple. And when an AC ripple goes over to the main board, or any ripple goes over to the main board, it can cause further problems. So we're never 100% anyway. Slightly fatter cap going in, but as you can see, it's gone in quite well. Where did I put that new 1000? Right in front of you. That's where I put it. Now there's a chance that that slipped down a bit, so I'm just going to... Oh, it did a little bit, but not much. Just to level it up. Let's just tidy up my little mess. Let's put the board back in, ready. We'll put it in the right way. Don't think I've ever seen one of these sets with bad backlights. And isn't that an amazing pale to tell when over the last 7 or 8 years in particular, 90% of the jobs have been backlights. But I bet you the backlights in here will come up fine and be bright and be lovely. All things bright and lovely. I won't put the back on for testing purposes. Just in case. Right, let me just move this camera around a second. I will put HDMI in as well, because if I won't use the word selling this television, because it's going to be an exchange. But if this TV is being exchanged, I really should make sure that the HDMI's work in it okay. Which HDMI we're going to put in? Put it in that one. Oh, lift it up. So I don't know if you noticed, because this, the back screws onto the front, if that makes sense. So it means that this is just very loose. Very loose, as you can see. But it's enough to let us know. Right, let's focus in on that's good enough for now. Let's switch on, see if it goes bang. It doesn't. We get the white light, and now when I turn it on, does the white light go out and stay out? No, stays on. But I don't. Ooh. And we get multiple flashes. So that means it could be the main board has taken a tumble, as I mentioned earlier. It really could. Well, I didn't notice it before, but there is a 470 volt cap here, which is, it's got the beginnings of the bulge, but let me stick a new one in there and see if that changes anything. Okay, I've replaced that other cap. I'm not convinced it is that. I think the main board has taken a hit on this one, but we'll soon see. Let's switch on. So we got the standby light. Oh, well, that does what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to go off and the screen is supposed to come on. So maybe we're going to get lucky. There it is. So it was 3 caps, not 2. We can I just need to switch some lights on and switch on. I've got the HDMI plugged in. So let's have a look. try HDMI 1. Did I have it in HDMI 1? Look at this great old software. Look at the great old software on this TV. What's in HDMI 1, people? Nothing. So maybe I'd got it in HDMI 2 after all. This is the same software, same firmware that you used to find in the old original digiboxes from years ago. There you go.
That's virtually a perfect oyster. Let me shake.
So anyway, look at those backlights. Perfect. It's probably not looking perfect through the camera from what you can see, but it is pretty damn perfect.
In the far southwest corner of Britain,
HDMI working as well.
and Cornwall.
That's enough of it. That's tested. Done. Thank you very much for watching.